In the year 2023, there's been an incredible amount of quality games. Resident Evil 4 Remake, Spider-Man 2, Final Fantasy 16, Armored Core, Lies of P, and much more. But today I want to highlight and focus on what's in my opinion the three most important games released this year. And those three not so surprising games are, of course, Baldur's Gate 3, Alan Wake 2, and Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I am now going to explain why I think this is the case for each one, and I'm doing it one at a time in no particular order. So here we go. Baldur's Gate 3 by Larian Studios. A RPG so good that it completely skyrocketed Larian from an already well-respected but somewhat niche developer to a developer that almost everyone will keep their eyes on in the future. Baldur's Gate 3, when it came out in full release earlier this year, it was so deep and complex with its RPG elements. It even created discourse online between fans and developers of other studios on social media about what should actually be expected from a game of this sort. The reason for all of this is because Baldur's Gate 3 has a staggering amount of meaningful choices that the majority of other developers simply do not know how to compete with. While I won't go over examples of what you can do in the game for fear of spoiling it, I can assure you it's a must play, even if you're not a fan of turn-based games, but if you just like very long, complex, deep stories with amazing characters that will last you 100+ hours. Larian, which is an independent studio, has more or less set a standard for what should be expected from a big RPG, and it would certainly be very interesting to see how games like the already announced The Witcher 4 in the future will take inspiration from it. I think it's important to clarify that it's not okay to attack anyone, and that it's of course okay if a future RPG doesn't go as deep into choices as something like Baldur's Gate 3 does, as they may put their resources and ambitions elsewhere instead. The second game I'm talking about...
Should we roll it, or do you want to say something first, Sam?
Nah, just roll it.
Which is my game of the year, by the way. Well, this game is the most unique AAA game since, love it or hate it, Death Stranding from 2019, despite sharing a lot of DNA with games like Resident Evil 2 Remake in terms of the gameplay. The thing with Alan Wake 2 is that it does so many things in incredibly creative and unique ways, like mixing live action, meta elements, Scandinavian culture, and music to deliver its mind-bending and thrilling story, with possibly the best fidelity visuals ever made for a video game thus far. The game has a section which is one of the most crazy and unique 15 minutes of games I've ever experienced in my 27 years on this earth. And if you've played it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. There's not a single game in 2023 that has made me think of the "this is art" meme more than this one. Sam Lake, Kyle Rowley, and everyone else at Remedy should be protected at all costs as they continue to inspire the entire industry and creators in general with their insanely cool ideas and vision. It may have taken 13 years for Remedy to finally release a sequel to the cult classic Alan Wake from 2010, but thankfully it was so worth the wait.
And there he is, pain to the max.
Okay, so the third and final game I want to talk about here today is a lot more gameplay and engine focused, and that is, of course, the one and only The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. The fact that this game works at all is a goddamn miracle, and the fact that it does so on a handheld Nintendo Switch of all places is even more crazy. Tears of the Kingdom is a true achievement in game design, with its insanely complex physics system and the building mechanics. There has never been a game that lets you solve the problems in the way you want in this type of way. If you think about building something in this game to solve a problem or just to goof around, you can most likely do it with the right know-how and skill. There's thousands of videos and TikToks, etc. showing off unique creations of entire Metal Gear style mechs, planes, tanks, and much more. This is a physics and build system that is simply unmatched, and will likely be a true inspiration for developers in how to do physics and puzzles as a whole moving forward. While the game might not look that different from Breath of the Wild at first glance, the tech that is here is revolutionary. Love or hate Nintendo, when they cook, they really cook. So that's the main reasons why I think these 3 games in particular will stand the test of time, just like other juggernauts, like Elden Ring from last year. These are games that will inspire and fuel developers for decades to come, in one way or another, and that is why I think they are easily the most important games of this year. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.